It's kind of like conditioning your brain to associate completing work with pleasure. Kind of like Pavlov's dog or whatever. Pavlov's cat? Pavlov's dog? Pavlov's dog. In today's video, we'll break down why we procrastinate and how we can beat it. Let's talk about it. First things first, let's talk about what procrastination really is. A lot of people think procrastination is just laziness, but that's not the case. It's actually a psychological defense mechanism. Our brains are hardwired to avoid discomfort, and procrastination helps us do just that. When you procrastinate, it's often because you are afraid of the task at hand. For musicians, maybe you're worried the track won't sound perfect, or you're scared of what people are going to think of your work. It's easier to doom scroll through TikTok and Instagram than face the discomfort of uncertainty. It's a bit like hitting the pause button on a task that's making you anxious. Why does our brain do this? Well, a big factor is the way that our brains are wired. We're hardwired for instant gratification. The pleasure centers in our brains light up when we do things like check our phone or eat a snack. When you're working on something long term, for musicians, it'll be finishing a track or writing a post. The payoff is not immediate. Your brain craves that instant reward, so it tells you, hey, let's just work on that later. Another big reason, and likely the more prevalent reason, is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and even fear of success. When you put something off, it's easier to avoid the potential negative feelings that come with it. When you procrastinate, you don't have to deal with these fears. You don't have to deal like feeling your art isn't good enough or worrying about how people will react. Despite it leading to more stress at the end, our brain feels like procrastination is a safer option. Perfectionism. Perfectionism is a huge driver of procrastination, especially in creative fields. You might have this idea in your head of how this track should sound or how your videos should look. When the time comes to actually work on it, you freeze up because you're not sure it's going to meet your higher standards. This makes it harder to finish, let alone even start it. If you've ever stared at a project for hours and ultimately end up getting nowhere, you've probably fallen into this trap. The problem with perfectionism is it paralyzes you. It creates unrealistic expectations that keep you from moving forward. And the truth is, no one's work is ever perfect. I speak about in my videos all the time. One of the hardest things a creative can do is call their project done and walk away from it. That's just how creativity works. Well, here comes the good part. How do we stop procrastinating and get back on track? A few strategies have worked for me, and here they are. Break larger tasks into smaller tasks. I've spoken about this many times now in previous videos. When you take on a big project, such as for me, creating a track from start to finish, that can be a bit daunting because I know that's going to take a lot of time. Sometimes I'll procrastinate and I won't want to start because I know I'm stuck creatively. But if you find ways to take that big project and take that big task and break it into smaller, more attainable tasks, you're much more likely to finish. Completing those small goals along the way will give you momentum. Those small wins will start to build up and give you a sense of accomplishment, and it will keep you moving forward. I usually break up my production process into writing, arrangement, mixing, mastering. Each one of those sections has their own list of things to do, their own small wins, so I can check those off along the way and help me keep going. Another great trick is the 2-minute rule. If a task will take 2 minutes or less, just do it. This works because once you start, it's easier to keep going. Going down your list of things to do, things that are quicker, just get them done immediately. Build up those small wins and help you keep going, so when you get to those longer tasks for the day, or when you get to those longer parts of the creative process, you'll have momentum built and a sense of accomplishment, and you'll keep going. Time blocking and focused sessions. I talk about time blocking a lot. I think it's super important. I'm going to have a video coming out in the next few weeks on trying out the Pomodoro technique, but this is one of my favorite ways to stay productive. It's as simple as just setting time aside. 30 minutes, 1 hour of uninterrupted focus, knowing that all of your attention is going directly into that task. No phones, no distractions, just you and that task. Minimizing any form of distraction is key. And as you continue to do this, and as you continue to work off of time blocks, your brain will start to know, oh, once you're in this block of time, that's the only thing you're worried about, nothing else. Create a reward system. Procrastination often comes from a lack of immediate reward, or immediate payoff, instant gratification. So let's create one. After finishing a task, whether it be a full project or those micro tasks that we've made along the way, give yourself any form of reward. It could be a coffee break, a walk outside, stretching. It's kind of like conditioning your brain to associate completing work with pleasure. Kind of like Pavlov's dog or whatever. Pavlov's cat? Pavlov's dog? Pavlov's dog. One of the things I've learned about procrastination is that it's heavily tied to negative self-talk. These thoughts can paralyze you, and they've paralyzed me in the past, and I'm here to tell you, stop it. You are on your own journey. Everything about you is unique, from your upbringing to your surroundings, to your friends, to your family. No one person is the same, and comparison is going to destroy you. Instead of thinking, oh, I can't do this or I'm not doing this fast enough, think where you've come from and where you are, and that you're learning with every step. Treat each task as an experiment or a practice session rather than focusing solely on the end result. This will help you push through those mental blocks, I promise. To wrap things up, procrastination is not something that just happens. It's a mental barrier that we create to avoid discomfort. Whether it's fear, perfectionism, the lack of instant gratification, we all face it. But with a few strategies, we can overcome it and start building momentum again. So remember, break down tasks, use a 2-minute rule, set timers, be nice to yourself, reward yourself. Everyone procrastinates from time to time. The key is how you bounce back, push through, and keep on moving forward. If you found these tips useful, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more. Until next time, stay creative, stay organized. Catch you next week.